My name is Gaby Borromeo. I'm from Seattle, Washington, but I actually live in New York City. I have been pursuing music there since I was 15. I've recorded many songs, worked with a lot of different production companies ever since then, and then I sort of left music for a little while. I was a little burnt out around the age of 19, so I kind of stopped and just really just lived my life for a little bit, but music was always knocking on the door. And one time after work, I work at this high-end cocktail lounge, and there's this beautiful grand piano, and I was playing it at 4 o'clock in the morning, and someone stumbles in and asks me to sing an original song. So I was like, okay, sure, and I sang, and they're like, what are you doing with this? And I looked at them, and I was like, I'm not really doing much, unfortunately. And they were like, you should do the voice. And he actually happened to be a musician who was much older than me, and he said, if this was here 20 years ago, I would have done it. He's like, you need to go. So I looked up online and found out that the auditions were 3 weeks later at the open call. So I set it in my mind that I would do it, and that no matter what, I'm gonna be there on Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I went there by myself, stood in line in the blazing heat, and was there in line for 8 hours, and got to sing for like maybe 20 seconds, and they got me to the next round, and all of a sudden here I am, which is quite a blessing. I have supporters from all facets of my life, whether it's my parents, who are my biggest fans, to my siblings, who I'm very close with, to my friends that I've made in Seattle, that I've made in New York, but the biggest fans definitely have to be my parents. They've been pushing me ever since I was a young girl. I started out singing karaoke when I was 5 or 6, singing like Gloria Gaynor, and I didn't know what it was, but I learned it on karaoke. And my parents stumbled in the room after a family party and were like, wow, she can actually sing. So they put me in singing lessons and piano lessons, and I haven't looked back ever since, and they still continue to support me to this day and are so very excited that I'm on this show. They've been wanting me to do it for years, and I finally got the cojones to do it. The blind auditions are unlike any performance that anyone would do in their life, and it was nerve-wracking for me because I haven't performed in a very long time. And especially to be performing in such mega stars who are incredible in this industry, incredibly respected, talented. So with their backs turned to you, it's not as intimidating. But when I was walking on stage, my heart was pounding so fast. And the song that I am singing on The Blind, it was a song I actually sang when I was 15 when I first moved to New York as a goodbye song to my high school. So it was kind of like coming around full circle. But really, when I was on stage, I kind of blacked out. And when I saw those 2 chairs turn around, my heart became instantly incredibly happy, and all this weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I could just smile. And after my performance was over, I started crying because all of these emotions just started rushing in. But it was an incredible feeling. Working with Adam is very overwhelming because of who he is and what he means in my life, because I've been listening to him ever since I was a little girl. Songs About Jane is one of my favorite all-time albums. Actually, some of the songs on the album I learned on the guitar when I was a kid, so being able to just talk to him on a human level has been incredible because he's so down to earth, such a real human being, and very smart, especially in this music industry, because he can, right off the bat, tell you what you need to work on, and just is so supportive at the same time, and really wants us to be the best artists that we can be. So around the age of 9, I started working with my vocal teacher, Davida, and she is a classical singer, actually. So I started off listening to a lot of classical music, Mozart, Schubert, and musicals. But then on the side, I would be listening to pop music. Christina Aguilera is one of my biggest inspirations. She has such a big voice, so I always tried to emulate her. And my brother would also be blasting in the basement Nirvana, and I'd be listening to like Portishead or even Britney Spears. That was probably actually one of my first CDs. I'm just inspired by every artist, whether they're big or people that I'm meeting nowadays who don't have huge names, but you can just really draw inspiration from all of the musicians that you work with. My ultimate favorite genre to perform definitely has to be pop music. It has a special place in my heart. I just remember being a kid in my room blasting Christina Aguilera's album Stripped and just singing my heart out. So pop music is definitely where I live. The voice definitely cultivates a nice, safe space where you can be the kind of artist that you want to be. And I think that's what the advantage of being on this show is, because I'm able to sing my type of genre, but they could also be giving me a song that I would never dream of doing, but then they allow you to make a twist on it, to make it your own, and I think that's really important for artists nowadays. Any surprises? I mean, I'm surprised every day by this show. I didn't expect to hit it off with all the contestants as much as we all do, and we're really becoming lifelong friends. Like, I talk to some of these people every day, whether they made it on the show or not, and it's great to be working with such talented people, and everyone on the show is so down to earth, whether it's the crew, whether it's my partner that I'm battling with, and it's just been such an amazing experience, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.